Welcome to Frontier Opening Bell. I'm Temple Ashaji. We've got Bosin Amofaya, Executive Editor here at Frontier Africa. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's look at the markets, the indices of the major markets we track before we hit the headlines. The Nigerian exchange was positive 0.40%. BRVM Stock Exchange were also positive by 44 basis points on Thursday. The EGX in Cairo was also positive, marginally up 0.06%. Nairobi Securities Exchange was the only market that was down, closed northward by 0.40%. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange was also positive by 0.67%. Regarding the headlines before us in the Eastern African markets region, we've got the Equity Bank as the best regional bank in East Africa. EU signs trade pact EPA with Kenya awaits orders in the EAC region. You have South Africa Liberty Holdings to buy new 84.2 million shares in Liberty Kenya. Okay, we'll move on to the West African market now, where the GT Holdco replaces GTBank PLC on Nigerian exchange platform. Ecobank wins African SME Bank of the Year. Central Bank of Nigeria FinTech Task Team met Thursday on the central bank digital currency regulation and orders. Dangote starting Cameroon diversification with oil and gas. Bosun, your thoughts?
Yes, quite a whole lot. And I said earlier, we said goodbye yesterday to GT Bank after about 26 years being a listed company, a listed commercial bank. Now it's gone Holdco. So right now we have additional financial services supermarket company running a Holdco after Stanbic IBTC, FCMB, and FBN Holdings. So this is the fourth commercial bank transmuting from being a commercial bank into a holdco, and with a whole lot of subsidiaries being spread out, some including Pan African. So we now have a GT holdco on the exchange and no longer GT Bank. GT Bank is now reverting back to a limited liability commercial bank, but still licensed by the SEC. The African Banker of the Year award of the African Bankers Awards, which usually takes place on the sidelines of the annual meetings of the AFDB, went to Herbert Wigwe, who is the GCO of Access Bank. I think he deserves it. He's got a whole lot of fire under the hood for the Pan African expansion they've done recently. But again, as you saw earlier, Equity Bank is the East African Bank of the Year within that category. Very good news also with the Ecobank winning the African SME Bank of the Year. They're doing a whole lot of financial support for SMEs across the continent. Good news yesterday as well with the central bank meeting with the fintech community, the cryptographers, the guys who are involved in digital payments and what have you. They met with with the team from the central bank led by one of the deputy governors at the central bank. The whole idea is to begin to prepare everybody to be on the same page ahead of the central bank digital currency, which is called the CBDC, and the regulations that will go with it when that comes on stream before the end of the year. And that's what the confirmation had been. So it looks like the central bank is carrying everybody along, so you get a little complaint at the end of the day. And finally, Dangote Cement, Dangote Industries now already had a small cement plant in Cameroon, but now they want to expand into oil and gas, or what you call energy. I think everybody should keep an eye on Dangote. It looks like it's gradually making a transition from being a cement, food, pastries, sugar, whatever production into oil and gas. So in the next couple of years, don't say you were not aware. When Dangote goes into energy, he's beginning to do that. It started with the refinery in Nigeria, and with the way he's going, I think he's transiting into adding energy into this portfolio of companies and activities, by the way. Thank you.
Many thanks, Bosin. Thank you so much for those analyses there. Let's move on to the South African markets, where the food prices pushed Zambia's inflation up to 24.6% and costs up by 1% in the month of May. Old Mutual Limited results from OPS scale up 52% to 2.68 billion South African rands. Standard Bank Group is African Bank of the Year. SARB Leseja Nganyango wins Central Bank Governor of the Year. Let's move to the Northern African markets, where the International Monetary Fund announces debt relief package for Sudan. North Cairo Mills posts profit of 3.4 million Egyptian pounds in the full year 2020-2021. Ukrainian company offers to develop Egyptian iron and steel plants, and Morocco's Benchaaboun gets Africa's Minister of Finance of the Year. That's at the AFDB meeting, which is also ends today. Bosin, your thoughts first?
Well, I'll stick with these winners, by the way, if you permit me, because it's just a very interesting event. I had the privilege of moderating the African Bankers Awards, this same event in Busan, in South Korea, 3 years ago, 2018. So I knew the glamour that would have gone with it. If it's a physical event, by the way, you have hundreds of bankers from around the world and across Africa attending this very high-profile event. So being virtually done this year is a good thing that the organizers based in London, the IC Publications, continue to hold it. Afreximbank specifically had had his head high up this year, being part of getting two of his deals awarded the deal of the year for debt, which is the Afreximbank COVID-19 support facility, which was done in partnership with the Japanese MUFG Bank and the Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group. Then you got the second one, which relates to the agriculture debt of the year, and I think this is really good. The Attijariwafa Bank, I'm sure Ali will speak a bit more to that. But I'm very happy that the IMF has joined the bandwagon supporting Sudan. The World Bank was the first to raise the cotton. Then France also did about $5 billion, additional $1.5 billion on the table. I think the coast is clear, in the manner of speaking, for Sudan to really move on.
We appreciate your insight shared on the show from Monday to Friday, and it's weekends now. This has been our last edition of the show, Frontier Opening Bell. I'm Temple Ashaju. Signing off. We'll join to see you again next week by God's grace. Bye for now.